do you keep putting off non-toxic living because it's so much more expensive? Or is your significant other, your husband, or your partner totally not on board with the idea just because of how much it costs? Coming up on the Non-Toxic Mommy podcast, I'm going to shatter these myths that non-toxic living has to be more expensive. Let's save you some money on your non-toxic swaps. Hi, and welcome back to the Non-Toxic Mommy podcast. I'm your host, Yasmine, and today we're tackling a question that I get asked a lot. Are non-toxic products more expensive than their mainstream counterparts, and how do you save money when making non-toxic swaps? So first, I'm excited to dive into this topic with you because some of the information that I'm about to share might be surprising to you. I was surprised myself, to be honest, and second of all, I'm really passionate about the subject of investing in your health and wellness. And I'm here to help you make healthy lifestyle changes while also saving your money. Okay, so let's dive in. There's this big myth that non-toxic products are always so much more expensive than quote unquote regular products. People ask about this all the time in my Facebook group. It's a common theme in my Instagram DMs. And I have to admit that sometimes I make the same assumption. So let's shatter this myth and let's break it down. Okay, number one, first of all, it's not always true that mainstream products are cheaper than non-toxic products. So, much to my surprise, I was doing some research for this episode and I found that a lot of the non-toxic products that I recommend actually compare in cost to their mainstream versions. So, I have a few examples for you. The first one is laundry detergent. I went to the Target website and I looked up Tide. I like the Tide liquid detergent. That's what I used to use before I became enlightened. So for $13.59, you can do 64 loads of laundry using Tide. That comes out to 21.2 cents per load. Let's round that down to 21 cents per load. I compared that to literally the same product that I was using this morning for my laundry to wash some of, I think, the kids' clothes. And that was Molly's Suds. So $14.99 for their original laundry powder gets you 70 loads. And that comes out to 21.4 cents per load. We can round that down to 21. But really, you're comparing Tide at 21.2 cents per load and Molly's Suds at 21.4 cents per load. That's almost the same. But here's the kicker. With Molly's Suds, I don't know anyone that uses a full scoop in their laundry. You don't need a full scoop. That's almost too much. So I usually use about a third of a scoop. So I'm wondering if that little bag of Molly's Suds actually gets me closer to 100 loads or even more than that, in which case the cost per load is going to be drastically lower than that Tide cost at 21.2 cents per load. Bam, right? Pretty cool when you actually do the math. Okay, so let's talk about mattresses now. Mattresses are all over the map in pricing. You can get a cheap king-sized mattress for like $450 on Amazon. True. But I also started looking at some of the popular brands like Purple, Nectar, and even some of the brands that like we all grew up with like Sealy and Beauty Rest. So the average range that I was seeing for a king-sized mattress from these brands was around $1,400 to $2,500. But there are some outliers. There were some that were less expensive, and there were some as expensive as like $3,500. None of these prices include taxes or anything like that. This is just the base model price. Okay, so that price range was $1,400 to $2,500. Now, compare that to a non-toxic GOTS certified king-sized mattress from Migraine Mattress, which is in the $2,000 range. Okay, that's in the same price range as those mainstream brands, right? Pretty much no difference there. Or look at the $3,000 to $4,000 price range of a Naturepedic king-sized EOS mattress. Okay, so what I'm trying to show you here is that you might assume that a non-toxic mattress is going to be so much more expensive than a traditional, mainstream, whatever mattress, but there's actually non-toxic mattress options within the same ballpark range, price range, as you would be paying for a subpar mattress. Okay, again, I know mattress prices are all over the map, but I was really amazed, kind of blown away to see this. And I think it's a really good thing. Okay, let's talk about makeup now. I think that many people make the assumption that, oh, clean beauty is so much more expensive, or they think like, oh, I'd have to swap out all of my products to switch to clean beauty. Okay, here's what I found. First of all, makeup is expensive no matter what brand you're shopping with, okay? That's just what it is. So I looked at a few products that I personally used to use. Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer. That was like my tried and true. I loved it. My favorite tinted moisturizer. It sells for $53 at Sephora. Chanel foundation sells for $65. Some comparable non-toxic products from Ilia, Crunchy, and Beauty Counter sell for $40 to $50. Okay, they're actually less expensive than those mainstream brands. Woohoo! Okay, now you might be saying, okay, that's great, Yasmine, but I don't spend $50 on my foundation. So let's do a drugstore brand comparison. So I saw that Maybelline and L'Oreal and a couple of those similar kinds of brands, they sell foundation for $6 to $18, more or less. And while it's maybe not my top recommendation, maybe not the cleanest brand out there, but you can get something similar, but decently cleaner from Honest Beauty for around $11 to $15. And you are able to say, okay, at least this product cuts out X, Y, and Z unhealthy ingredients. Okay? So how do you like them apples, right? Do not underestimate the power of highly effective marketing tactics. There's a psychology behind all of this, and even subconsciously, you and I might just be assuming that cleaner products are going to be more expensive. It's totally easy to think that. I get it. But my point here is that they're not always actually more expensive. They might be in the same price range, or they might actually even be less expensive sometimes. And we just illustrated that with a few products, right? But sometimes they are more expensive. Okay, I'm not going to lie. Like sometimes non-toxic, healthy products are just going to cost more than the products that you were using before you made that swap. So tip number 2 here is to focus on quality over quantity. Okay, let's talk about quality because that deserves a place at the table. There's an old saying that you get what you pay for, and I've always personally believed this, and I grew up thinking this. I really firmly believe that you get what you pay for in most cases. There are some exceptions, okay? One of my biggest pet peeves is like when someone would go and spend $300 on a plain white t-shirt from a designer brand just because it's designer. Just because it has that label, you know, in the back. I get it. There might be some pride of ownership or whatever. But as far as I'm concerned, I don't think that that really falls into this quality discussion and the idea that you get what you pay for. So let's just leave that off the table. Okay, because that's not what we're talking about here. I'm talking about with vetted, non-toxic products. The idea that you get what you pay for could not be any truer. And this applies to like non-greenwashed, truly clean brands like the ones that I personally vet, the ones that I get behind, not like someone just trying to throw in words like organic, non-toxic, you know, all those buzzwords to make you think their products are actually clean, but they aren't. We're not talking about people that are trying to jump on the clean living bandwagon and just make a quick buck because they think that you're not going to understand what actually is clean and what isn't. So all of that is just to say that when you buy truly clean, well-made products, they're going to be higher quality. They're going to be made with better materials. They're going to be made using superior ingredients. This can cost more upfront. Okay, I'm not going to lie about that. But along with the quality, did you know that you sometimes get more life out of these items? For example, this is so cool. A conventional mattress will last you about 10 years. But a truly organic, high-quality mattress can last 15 to 20 years, okay? And the biggest benefit is that it's not going to be off-gassing flame-retardant chemicals, releasing fiberglass into the air, or, you know, have toxic glues in there. But you also get to use that item for much longer than the less expensive regular conventional product, the conventional mattress. Another example, Ultra HEPA air filter might cost you around $350 or more, but you can get a cheap air filter at the store for around $100 or even less. But do these two filters accomplish the same thing? Are you comparing apples and apples? No, you just aren't. The more expensive air filter, the Ultra HEPA air filter, the one that contains carbon, that one's going to be more expensive because it has more features and it has a better rate of filtration. It does more for you. You get more quality, more value for your dollar, okay? Another example, I had a mom recently DM me on Instagram saying that she had bought one of the water filters I recommended. It was a clearly filtered pitcher, and the reason is that her baby had eczema, and I had suggested trying to swap out her water filters. She said that her husband was totally skeptical about the investment, but once they got the water filter home and they'd started using it, he was totally on board because he could tell that the water smelled and tasted cleaner. So what I'm trying to say here is you can't get clearly filtered results at Brita prices, okay? And then one more example I'm going to share with you from my own experience. You may or may not know that I am the founder of Biomology, which is a prenatal supplement brand. And let me just tell you, I have learned so much about the supplement industry in the 3.5 years, I think, that we've been around. One of the biggest realizations I had was regarding ingredient quality. And I will just say that there are so many different ingredient options that a supplement manufacturer can choose from. And let's say one ashwagandha is not necessarily the same in terms of quality as another ashwagandha. A lot of manufacturers are going to go for the cheapest option just to cut their costs. And this is something that you have to manage at various points in the supply chain. So it's hard to do, but typically, I would say the default or the standard setting is for a manufacturer, most likely, to want to cut their costs and spend less so that they can charge less, they can sell more in terms of volume. That's how you can get a prenatal vitamin that costs $8. Or a probiotic for $15. Now, there's also some economies of scale at play. Some of these bigger companies are buying, hundreds of thousands of units at a time, so their unit cost goes down, and then they can pass on some of that savings to you in terms of a lower price. But a lot of times what's happening here is that companies are cutting corners. And that's not just specific to supplement companies, that's pretty much for anything. When you buy a synthetic fabric, you buy a sweater, or you buy food at the store or something like that, a lot of times people are cutting corners and using less expensive ingredients, okay? So for me, I can say firsthand that at Biomology, we don't do business that way, and you're going to see that reflected in our prices. You will pay more for our prenatal vitamins than you will at the drugstore. Another thing that we do is, and many reputable companies do, is we pay for third-party testing. Some companies pay for certifications. These things cost money, and that's typically reflected in the pricing. So truly, you get what you pay for. And as a brand owner and having played a role in our product formulation, I can just tell you that this is true to the nth degree. You really get what you pay for. So if you have the mindset of quality over quantity, you can benefit in so many ways. One of them is that you end up saving. Maybe it's over the long run, maybe it's per use, but you do get so much more for your money when you focus on quality versus quantity, or, just something that's less expensive. Okay, and that brings me to today's segment of Loving Lately, where I share 3 things that I have been loving lately. And I do this because I know how great it is to find a wonderful product. And my goal is to help you find great products, help you save some money while you're at it, and just share some of the things that I've kind of been loving lately and things I've been obsessed with. So number 1 is, while we have been on the subject of mattresses, I want to share with you why I love my migraine mattress, Natural Escape. I'm forgetting the exact name. I think it's called Natural Escape. King-sized mattress. I have had mine for several years now. It's a little on the firm side. I've never been someone who loved a firm mattress, but let me tell you that from the first night I slept on my migraine mattress, I have just been so comfortable. I don't even think about it. That's how comfortable I am. That's how great this mattress is for me. It is just something that I don't even take the time to think about. It's comfortable. I sleep great. I am super happy. I don't wake up cranky or tight or anything like that. So I really love my migraine mattress bed. I also love Naturepedic. There's actually a lot of great mattress brands that I work with and I recommend. I have a ton of articles on this site. If you want to go to gentlenursery.com and search mattress or go to the deals page, I do have a discount link for migraine mattress, for Naturepedic, for avocado, for so many of these great, truly organic and non-toxic mattress brands. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, I want to tell you about this awesome company called Bare August. This is the coolest foot file that I have ever seen and ever used. It's not only super cute, but it works really well. It has kind of like a glass surface to it, and it doesn't feel like a cheese grater. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like those traditional foot files that make you feel like you're rubbing a cheese grater on your ankle. This is not that at all. It's super gentle. I can actually use this on dry skin, and it works really well. It literally just takes the dry skin and, you know, buffs it right off. So I highly love this, highly recommend this foot file from Bare August. Not only is it super cute, it makes a great gift, but it works really well. So love it. And then number three is the baby bottom cream from Ro Casa Organics. One of the things I love about this baby bottom balm is that the first ingredient is coconut oil. And if you have been around the crunchy circuit for some time, you'll know that one of the things that pretty much any, organic mom will tell you to do is to put coconut oil on your baby's bottom if they have a rash or something like that. So I do like that this does contain coconut oil. It also has shea butter, beeswax, it has zinc oxide, non-nano, and it also has bentonite clay, just really great ingredients that are going to be soothing on an irritated bottom. I also have a few other products that I like for diaper creams. You can search diaper cream on gentlenursery.com, but I love Ro Casa, and I also have a discount code for you. So I will link it on the show notes at gentlenursery.com/podcast/007 for this episode. So check it out, try it out, and let me know what you think. Back to saving you money when going non-toxic. So tip number 3 is to buy less and get more. What? Okay, so in all seriousness, with non-toxic products, you can typically buy and use fewer products and get more out of them than their conventional counterparts. So what I mean is when you invest in non-toxic products, you're often going to find that you don't need to buy as much just because of the way that they're made. So for example, Branch Basics is my favorite household cleaning product. I use it for laundry, I use it for hand soap, and for all of my cleaning solutions, for everything from like glass cleaner to bathroom cleaner, all-purpose cleaner, granite wiper, everything, granite wiper. But I use this and I buy 1 bottle of concentrate every month or so, sometimes every other month, and it serves multiple purposes. Not only does this cut down on household clutter, but it also cuts down on me having to go to Target and buy 12 different products for all these different areas of my house. And I can really do that with 1 product. It is amazing. Speaking of Branch Basics, I do have a discount code for you. I will link to it on the show notes. I'm sorry, I don't remember all the codes offhand. I have to put it in writing for you because I just can't keep track of them mentally. You can also always check out gentlenursery.com/deals if that's easier for you, because that's where I keep all of the codes for you. Now, don't forget about simple solutions and going DIY. So simple ingredients like baking soda, vinegar, essential oils, things like that can replace a ton of products, usually at a fraction of the price. For example, I use olive oil instead of WD-40. I don't need to go out and buy an extra product. I can actually literally just use olive oil to fix a squeaky wheel or a door hinge or whatever it is. And then, okay, one more example I have for you. This is my jojoba oil. So I've talked about this in another episode. I use this as a facial moisturizer sometimes, but I mainly use it as an eye makeup remover. It costs me $10 on Amazon versus I used to use Lancome, their eye makeup remover, and I just looked it up. It costs $38. So I didn't even need to go out and buy an eye makeup remover. I just use a simple available ingredient, and I'm saving $28 just by making that simple switch. And it has multiple uses. If I wanted to use it as a moisturizer or something else, I could do that. And I'm literally only spending $10 and it lasts me forever. Neutrogena has an eye makeup remover that costs $9. So I don't need to go out and buy all these products. Simply by buying smart, really purchasing intentionally, I'm able to save. And I've replaced a ton of products. And so you can really save big this way. Okay, and then number 4 is the priceless investment that you're making. Okay, so I'm going to say that above all, non-toxic living is an investment. Okay, not just in better products, but it's an investment in you. It's an investment in your family, in your grandkids and their children. It's an investment in your health and your longevity, your peace of mind, your mental health. Okay, so we often think about the immediate sticker price when I go out and buy something, and that's important. But what about the long-term benefits? What about the bigger picture here, right? Reducing exposure to most chemicals, like the ones that you would find in some of these conventional products, can lower the risk of so many health issues and challenges. And while you can't put a price tag on your health, healthier lifestyles typically correlate with fewer medical challenges and medical expenses down the line. So that's something to think about, okay? So the next time someone tells you that going non-toxic is too expensive, remember, 1, it's not always true, and 2, it's about value and not just price, okay? It's about the bigger picture. It's about your health, your mental health, your family, the environment, and the legacy that we leave for future generations. I'm talking about our grandchildren and their children, and so on and so forth. So let's go over what we talked about today. Number 1, non-toxic products aren't always more expensive than the products that you're probably buying today. Challenge that misconception and really break it down for yourself. If you find yourself hitting a wall, telling yourself, okay, I don't want to make that purchase right now because it's just going to be more expensive, go out and see. Find out for yourself. Number 2, quality over quantity. You get what you pay for. You get better quality for the price you pay. Vetted products are going to be made with better materials and better ingredients. Go to gentlenursery.com, search a product category. Chances are I have made recommendations for you. Number 3, buy less, get more. And in the process, you can declutter. You can cut down on unnecessary purchases simply by going with some of these non-toxic, healthy products. And number 4, remember that healthy living pays off in other ways. Your health, your wellness, your sound mind and body are worth so much more than saving a few bucks on a cheap product, right? So your homework for today is to look into a non-toxic product that maybe you've been putting off buying. Have you just assumed that it's more expensive than what you're currently using or what you would buy instead? How much does it actually cost, and what would be the benefit of bringing this item into your home or into your life? For example, I bought myself a really large water bottle. It probably cost about $45, and I didn't want to spend that at the time, but the benefit is that I drink more water. I feel a lot better about myself day to day because I'm living up to one of my subconscious expectations, the expectation that I'm taking care of my hydration. I'm drinking a lot of water. I'm doing that right. So not only am I, hydrating, but I'm also feeling pretty darn good about myself. And I think that's a nice little up level, a nice little upgrade that I just made for myself. So you stay hydrated. I want you to rethink something that you have been putting off purchasing. And I will be back next week to save you even more on your healthy lifestyle. Now, if you're ready to give your non-toxic journey a little bit of a kickstart, head to the show notes at gentlenursery.com/podcast/007 and grab a copy of my Getting Started with Non-Toxic Living guide. And I will see you in the next episode.